Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is for 6 rounds, and it's in the middleweight division. The referee for this contest is Joe Cortez. And now introducing in the red corner, weighing 161 3/4 pounds. He's wearing red trunks with white trim from Indianapolis, Indiana. He's undefeated with a record of 4-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Minton. And in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with red trim, he weighs 159 1/2 pounds. He comes from the Big Apple, New York City. His record, 5-1, 3 by knockout. Introducing Iron Blade Barkley.
New Jersey State Athletic Commission, and I'm here to enforce them. When I say break, I want you both to break clean. If there's a knockdown, the fighter scoring the knockdown must go to the farthest neutral corner, and you stay there until I tell you to come out. The fighter going down must take the mandatory 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule has been waived in the state. It's up to my discretion whether I'm going to let the fight continue or stop it, all right? Want your low punches, your kidney punches, and your rabbit punches. I don't want any holding and hitting, all right? Shake hands, come on, fighting out the belt.
What did you say about it?
Joe Cortez is the referee. Iran Barkley in the black trunks. On the right of your screen, there is Iran Barkley from the Bronx, New York. 5-1, going against Frank Minton. There's Frank Minton from Indianapolis, who's 4-0, and we've seen him on ESPN before, and he's looked quite good. In fact, his manager says the people in the Midwest have seen him so much on ESPN or seen what he can do that they're staying away from him. The only place he can fight is on the East Coast.
Well, Frank is much better than most 4-0 fighters, and our viewers have seen that before, and they'll see it again tonight. This shapes up as an excellent matchup. We've seen Iran Barkley also in some real wars. Recently on ESPN, he lost to Osley Silas in a 4-rounder, his only loss as a pro, but Barkley always gives you a good effort. He's a very offensive-minded fighter, and his only problem is defense.
That could be a problem.
Against Frank Minton, it could be, who is an excellent body puncher and a good ring technician there.
Barkley is 23 years old. He's in the black trunks. As I mentioned, 5-1. Al mentioned his only loss was to Osley Silas. He's been fighting pro since October of last year. So he's been busy. 10 months as a pro.
Barkley has a very good left hook. We saw him throw it, although Minton picked it off there. But he leaves himself open with that hook. It's a real wide hook, and we saw Silas exploit that with a lead right. There's Minton trying to do the same.
Minton in excellent shape, 161 3/4. Midway through the first round, scheduled for 6. Minton is 27 years old, born and raised in Indianapolis. Had a good amateur career in Indiana. 4-time Golden Gloves champion in Indiana. Nice left hook by Barkley. And Minton answers back with a nice combination. A good straight right hand got in there.
That left hook by Barkley woke up Frank Minton. He's the kind of fighter that he will go at his own even pace unless you force him to fight all out. And when he does, as we just saw, he is a very good puncher.
A little caution from Joe Cortez to Frank Minton to keep his punches up. Minton in the red trunks, Barkley in the black trunks. Glancing left hook by Barkley, scored on the top of the head of Minton.
Frank comes in here off a first-round knockout win over Arthur Ratliff June 14th in his hometown Indianapolis.
Half a minute to go, round 1. Barkley again scoring the left hook. Barkley worked with Davey Moore. Moore is training for the Duran fight. Final seconds, round 1. Scheduled for 6. Round 2 scheduled for 6. Frank Minton in the red trunks from Indianapolis Iran Barkley, named the Blade, from the Bronx, New York, in the black trunks. Good flurry by Minton to end the first round. Barkley comes out quick with a left hook.
Minton has good hand speed. I think he may have an edge there over Barkley, although Barkley himself can punch in combination. Good right hand by Iran.
It's a good first round.
Very good. These are two evenly matched fighters, and I think they're both about at the same level of their careers.
Barkley is an amateur. In 1982, lost in the Golden Gloves finals in New York to Dennis Milton. How do you score?
Slight edge to Frank Minton based upon those flurries in the last minute. Good right by Minton. They are exchanging now, as we always see in Iran Barkley's fights.
Barkley landing with both hands.
Good counterpunching there by Frank Minton. That's something he does very well. I'm surprised we have not seen Minton go to the body more. He's a very good body puncher. And that was his plan coming into this fight.
Going with those straight rights, mostly to the head. Barkley tries the body. Barkley landing the left hook. That's his best punch.
Viewers that have seen Minton before have not seen him with the shaved head. And why is he shaved? Well, he went to his manager Pete Susans for some money for a haircut. Susan wasn't around, and he said, I don't have any money, so I think I'm just going to go home and shave my hair off, which he did, much to the chagrin of his wife, who hates this situation. She would rather see him have hair.
Pretty solid punches. Right hand got in by Barkley, and Minton answers with a left.
Iran is starting to get that right hand and also his left hook, so he is landing effectively on Frank Minton. This is more punches we've seen landed on Minton than in entire fights when we've seen him previously.
Tough test for both fighters. Under a minute to go, round 2 scheduled for 6. These are middleweights. Left hook got in. Barkley counters with his own left hook. Like each fighter is taking turns answering back, getting a shot and giving one back. Half a minute in the second round.
Barkley's slipping punch is a little better than we've seen him in the past. He's slipping that left hook by Minton, and that's a punch he was hit with a lot in previous fights.
And a nice right-left combination by Barkley. He's scoring well. And Barkley, who does most of his training at 125th Street Gym, has been working out at the Times Square Gym in New York. End of round.
Now you will see Iran Barkley with some of his best moments. Minton was able to slip that right, but Barkley landed a punch he's been landing a lot, the left hook, and we're into round 3.
Good tough fight thus far. And toe-to-toe they go. Barkley getting the better of it thus far, but Minton stays right there. Barkley keeps circling.
We've seen Barkley in these fights, as I said before, against Osley Silas. Oh, good left hook by Minton. Barkley was able to land very effectively for a couple of rounds, but continued to trade, and eventually it was Silas who really came on to hurt him. There are some signs that this fight might be the same.
But Barkley's doing something you mentioned in that second round. He is slipping some of those punches, Al, a lot better than he had in the past.
That is an improvement with him.
You're seeing Minton miss as Barkley ducks and slips a little bit.
And there was a clash of heads, and there is a cut, I believe, over the eye of Frank Minton. Blood dripping down. Can't tell. The left eye, I believe.
Barkley just missing that left hook. Minton blinking a little bit.
On the inside, that is where I would have expected Frank Minton to dominate this fight. He hasn't done that. He hasn't gone to the body as much as he'd like. And Barkley's been able to tie him up more effectively than I thought he would be.
Joe Cortez is the referee in this bout. I haven't mentioned Joe all that much because these guys have just done a good job. Nice right uppercut by Barkley, and it seemed to stun Minton as he backs up. And Barkley chases in Minton's corner. Now Frank Minton tries to turn it around.
Minton hurt by that uppercut. And I think Barkley has surprised him with his power.
Again, the right uppercut by Barkley got in there.
And Minton with his own lead right, but he's not been able to hurt Iran Barkley much.
Now Barkley a little wild with both hands as Minton makes a miss. Barkley looks to be tiring just a little bit.
I think Frank Minton is also tiring, and that little stumble gave us an indication. Tough pace over these first 2 rounds.
Barkley going all out, landing again with the uppercut. It's been effective. Left hand by Barkley. Both guys throwing a lot of punches.
Minton just hit Barkley with a left hook, and Iran didn't move an inch.
Half a minute to go, round 3. Barkley loading up, trying to get some power in those punches. Now he misses.
Minton is not making him pay when he misses wildly.
Minton scoring. Final seconds, round 3. You're watching Top Rank Boxing. Once again, Frank Minton finishing strong at the end of the 3rd round.
Not indicative of the way the rest of the round went, but there we saw that Minton could put punches together.
Good flurry. Little Vaseline over the left eye of Frank Minton as Eddie Aliano, his cut man, worked on that cut between rounds. Both fighters went into their corners very tired. How'd you score the fight thus far, Al?
Rounds 2 and 3 I gave to Barkley, so I have got this fight 2-1 for Iran Barkley, despite the flurry that Minton came back with at the end of the round. And we might add that Eddie Aliano, one of the very best cut men in boxing, so Minton has got a good edge there.
Scheduled for 6.
This is not as crisp a performance as we've seen from Minton before. He's fighting a little bit better fighter, perhaps.
I think so.
But frankly, he's more of a technician usually in the ring. It's been a little wild tonight.
I think what you said earlier, Al, we haven't seen him work the body as much as we have in the past. And I imagine that maybe Barkley has something to do with that. Maybe he's seen Barkley's past fights and thinks he can outslug him.
Well, they looked at the Barkley Oscar Silas fight that Minton did, but he thought that was one of the tickets to winning this fight, getting inside and working the body. Just hasn't done it.
Barkley, a left hook. Two well-conditioned fighters, both with right-hand leads. Tough battle. Frank Minton 4-0, 3 knockouts. Iran Barkley 5-1, 3 knockouts. Minton has been a pro since January. Barkley has been a pro since last October.
And they told Barkley in his corner, don't be inside the trade with this guy. Hit him and get out. And that's what he's been doing very well in this round. This is definitely the most intelligent fight I've seen Iran Barkley fight. He's more disciplined. He's fighting within himself a lot better.
He's moving. He's constantly moving, circling, throwing punches, doing a real good job. Right hand score for Frank Minton. Half a minute to go in round 4. Iran Barkley in the black trunks, Frank Minton in the red. We're at Resorts International Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Middleweight action continues in just a moment. I've scheduled for 6. Middleweights Iran Barkley from the Bronx. In the black trunks, Frank Minton from Indianapolis in the red trunks. Good tough fight thus far. And in Minton's corner between rounds, they said Barkley is wide open for the left hook. Use it. He's throwing it. Here they go toe-to-toe.
Well, I've been surprised that Frank Minton has not been able to hurt Barkley at all. He's hit him with some pretty good shots, and I think one of the things that people have questioned about Iran Barkley is his shin. And Minton, who is a good puncher, has not been able to really hurt him so far.
Barkley's been able to score with the right hand. Barkley got in a good left hook inside.
Iran Barkley is winning the battle on the inside, something a lot of boxing observers here did not think he could do against Minton. In my estimation, that is the story of this fight. That's where he's winning.
hook by Barkley scores. Good work to the body by Barkley. And a right uppercut by Barkley. And a left hook by Barkley. And Minton is hurt. Minton covering up, in trouble here. Joe Cortez looking closely as Minton does not get out of that corner. And Barkley continues to throw punches. We're midway through the 5th round. It is all around Barkley at this point. Minton trying to fight back. Can't get his hands up. Barkley going for the knockout here. Minton can't tie him up.
And if Frank Minton doesn't get out of that corner soon, Joe Cortez will certainly stop things.
Will Barkley punch himself out? I don't know. A minute to go in round 5.
If Minton has anything left, good right by Minton.
Yes. He comes off, gets a left hand. As Barkley punched himself out, Minton coming back. Barkley with a left hook. Barkley with another left hook. Watch the head back of Frank Minton. Minton is ready to go down. The fight is over. And look at Barkley collapsing in the ring. Unbelievable. Barkley punched himself out, but got the TKO he was looking for.
Well, for Barkley, as you look at some of the fans here at the resort, and they were certainly excited about this fight, for Barkley it became a matter of survival. He was so fatigued from punching himself out that he needed to knock out Minton. And we'll see how that fight ended.
Frank Minton being checked out by the doctor in the ring. His face was bloodied. And he was on his way down when Joe Cortez stepped in and stopped the fight. And you take a look at the final seconds here. Again, Minton was in that corner for well over a minute. There's a big left hook. Just after Minton had come back with a flurry. And Barkley is all over him. A right hand lands. And Frank Minton was on his way down. Here it is again.
From another angle, we see that Barkley, at this point, had already almost punched himself out, but he was able to land one big shot. I think that uppercut may have been it. That really finally put Frank Minton in such trouble that Frank just couldn't continue.
There was that left hook.
Yeah, and this was really a surprise, I think. A lot of people did not feel that Barkley had the wherewithal to put Frank Minton away, and so he proved a lot tonight.
Two big left hooks. Minton, there you see the knees buckling. He's on his way out. And Joe Cortez comes in and stops the fight. Frank Minton being checked out, his first professional defeat after 4 wins. And a tough battle. They just went at it every minute for the 5 rounds, just under 5 rounds. Let's get the official time from ring announcer Michael Buffer. Now Michael wants to check with the commissioner. First, now he'll give us the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Cortez stops this contest at 121 of the 5th round. The winner by TKO, Iran the Blade Barkley.
Big win for Iran Barkley. 5th round TKO. He's now 6-1. A big win for him as he comes back with his 2nd consecutive win. He stops previously unbeaten Frank Minton in the 5th round. We'll be back with more Top Rank Boxing in just a moment.